priority here is to get set.
There is always a weak situation that arises whenever the batsman is new, when the batsman is out, and if you are able to capitalize it. And I can tell you that situation sort of magnifies when 2 wickets fall in succession. Then immediately there is tremendous pressure even on the best batsman. His natural strokes curbs automatically. His dynamism, his natural ability to hit the ball hard sort of dies down. So picking wicket at regular intervals can definitely put brakes. I mean, I'm talking the obvious, but that's how cricket is all about. Immediately the bowlers will gain a upper hand.
Very nicely played by Ganguly. He'll only get 1 because there's a man down at deep square leg. But this is good playing from Ganguly. He's moved on to 13. He's faced 31 deliveries. Main thing, he's played it as straight as possible. Played most of the deliveries through the V, not trying to hit any across.
Oh! Bread and butter for Yuvraj Singh this time. Wonderfully played. Drifting down the leg side, Chamindavas. You hardly see that happening one too many times. And Yuvraj makes no mistake this time.
It's almost a similar shot to what was played before by Ganguly, but this one had the power, it had the placement. Not too much effort, but he nicely leant into the ball to get maximum power. Short snake, no slip, and that's going to fly away for another boundary.
When you play cricket, test cricket, against its own tradition, no slip, nothing behind the stumps, wicket-keeper standing close. Now, what can you say about it? I don't remember too many fast bowlers bowling without a slip. It's more of a symbolic, but still he would have 1.
Yes, it's been a good over. 9 runs coming so far. A lot of discussions going on. As we've seen on numerous occasions when the Sri Lankans are on the field. We saw it in the first innings. We're seeing it all over here. Atapattu talking to the bowler. At times one of the senior players joining in. And most of the time it's concerned field placements. Whenever they want to make an adjustment in between overs, there's a lot of talking going on.
Bowling. Slip is back in position. End of the over, 214 for 5, India.
Partnership building up between Ganguly and Yuvraj Singh. Yuvraj on 14 of 25, Ganguly 13 of 31. 24 runs coming off 42 deliveries. The 4th wicket fell at 178, the 5th at 190. The Sri Lankans had a chance of breaking through then. But these two have played well. They've done this whenever they could. They've got the single, rotated the strike, waited for the bad delivery to get the boundaries. They played very sensibly. In fact, the Indian batsmen overall have been playing very sensibly this afternoon, taking the score to 215.
16 overs to come for the day. I'm not too sure whether they're going to get all the 16 overs. Extra half an hour could be opted for tomorrow morning in case if there is any delay. feel a rather if Sri Lankans are unable to bowl the 16 overs because of the lights or whatever reasons, and then you can extend the game beyond 4:30.
Muralidharan operating from around the wicket. Got most of his wickets in the first innings bowling round the wicket. Started off bowling over the wicket in this innings. The ball now in its 60th over, so pretty old.
The Dusra, which was so effective in the first innings, somehow has eluded Murali this time. He's not been able to bring that ball across into Yuvraj.
End of the 60th over, India 215 for 5.
एक आदमी पागल होता है तो उसे पागल खाने भेज देते हैं। यदि सारा शहर पागल हो जाए तो अचानक 37 साल बाद सिर्फ सोनी एंटरटेनमेंट टेलीविजन एशिया पर।
$215 for 5. 60 overs completed. The shadows lengthening over the grounds. Still 15 overs remaining in the day. And to take you through to the end, it will be Ranjit Fernando, and with him Arun Lal.
Thanks, Ranil. Well, shadows lengthening on Sri Lanka's prospects as well. 275 behind. They really need to get their act together, get a few wickets today. Well, lots of scratches on that one. Time has taken its toll. .275 the lead already in India's favour, I would imagine. If not in favour, definitely around the 50-50 mark in these conditions. So once it gets beyond 325, it becomes reaches the realms of the difficult.
Yes, I think it certainly has reached a stage where Sri Lanka have to think a lot about this. Hard to put away on the offside. So the Indians are in no hurry. They realize that occupation of the crease is important, and they need to try and accumulate 4 runs to try and enhance this lead further, to sort of ensure that Sri Lanka are completely out of the game. I could see some element of worry in Mavanatapattu.
As he should be. His main strike bowler, Muralidharan, has been neutralized somewhat. Obviously, the Indians have done a lot of thinking. 7 for 100 in the first innings. That is a lot of swing. Difficult to give out for that amount of movement on the front foot. Geometrically impossible, Mr. Vas, to strike you in line and also go on to hit the stumps.
It also hit him outside the line, as you would say. The impact is outside of stump. It's also a long stride, but again more in expectation rather than with any conviction, I would imagine. The Sri Lankans are very desperate here now to get a wicket.
It's getting good movement, Chaminda Vas. That is a very handsome shot indeed. He's been bending the ball into Yuvraj. This is the away swinger, and he has sent it racing to the boundary.
The length and the line were wrong here. Just trifle short, and also with the width. Certainly just gets it away past Mubarak for 4.
And he's played it off the front foot. You're absolutely right. It was just the room that was provided. Went for it, brought it off beautifully. Quickly on to 18 of 32. Runs are coming far too quickly for Atapattu's comfort.
Yuvraj too needs a few runs behind against his name. Hasn't really been successful in the test matches in this series.
The ball is moving, mind you. There is a fair amount of swing in and out for Vas.
Yes, it was around this time of the innings, even in the first innings, that the Sri Lankans made an impression. The ball getting older, was just maintaining shine on one side and getting the reverse swing going. And on the other hand, it was Muralidharan at the other end who got his doosra going.
Good movement. Lets it go. 220 for 5. $220 for 5. Add to that 60 runs, it's 280. Bandara coming on. Problem that Sri Lanka and Atapattu have had is Muralidharan. Do you think he got a little tired, or is it expecting too much for him to keep taking wickets, 5s and 7s all the time?
I reckon he had to have a long bowl at that partnership between Pathan and Dravid. Took a fair amount off him, and again probably needs a window somewhere. He's been wicketless so far, and someone like Muralidharan, like also Kumble, as soon as they get one wicket, then they get on a roll. So the Indians have been very careful to see that Muralidharan gets nothing against his wicket column.
Next question to you, Ranjit. Do you think the wicket is eased up?
Sharon, I've been a great believer that it's a batsman that determines wickets in most cases. I mean, I think you have the exceptions. But this really is a case where if batsmen spend time in the middle and get a hang of things, batting becomes all that more easier. And this really is something which I've seen in this test match.
Certainly, once you get settled, it suddenly looks as though everything is a lot easier. So would you like to reassess the total that is chaseable on this track?
See, I think batting last, you're always going to get the odd ball that might do something, and that's something which you really can't eliminate out of the equation. It's nicely played on the offside. Ganguly seems to be getting more into his stride. Yes, coming back to the runs the Sri Lankans would look at, I think in the current situation they would even tell themselves that a total of maybe 325, 330 is something they would be prepared to chase, because that is more by sort of not by choice really, but they, I'm sure, would be forced to do that.
Well, for those who are statistically inclined, let me remind you that 276 is the highest ever chased in India to win a test match. Sri Lanka would need to set a record already if they are to win this one. That also happened in '87. That was the West Indies, and I happened to have played that game. It was Viv Richards who came off with a splendid 100 in the second innings to take them to that victory.
Yes, you need someone like Viv Richards to do something like that, isn't it? And I'm not quite sure whether the modern player has that type of skill. Might be a rarity, but as a rule, it's something which I have my reservations about.
So that's the statistics for you, 276, but statistics can really take a back seat if you can really get your mind to it. It's 222 for 5. 79 runs have come in 23 overs this session. It's really been very interesting, the battle. The game has seesawed. Sri Lankans had it in their grasp and it was sort of yanked back by Anil Kumble. Again, off the front foot, that shot outside the off stump, but there's cover for Vas. On this occasion, he's just conceded one.
Yuvraj Singh has been inclined to get on the front foot whenever the opportunity has afforded him, even when playing those horizontal back shots. On tracks like this, certainly could be successful, where the bounce isn't very high.
Has to abort at the last instant. Ganguly not ready. Something disturbed him. Just wasn't comfortable in his stance. It's always best to do that rather than being forced. Oh, there's somebody just walked. That's what he indicated. Just walked across the side screen.
There's quite a big crowd at this ground, so you get the odd spectator walking across the screen or disturbing the batsman. That doesn't seem to be the case there.
Sri Lanka, the highest total they've ever chased to win a match in the fourth innings at home is 326. For 5 that was, but that's the highest total they've ever chased to win a test match. Away from home is 220 versus Pakistan in Rawalpindi. But the all-time highest that they've mustered in the fourth inning is 348, chasing 521. That was against Australia at Hobart, so they've got to 350 in the fourth innings.
So all the statistics appear to be against them, but cricket's a funny game.
That's well played into the gap for a single. Sri Lankans in a bit of a dilemma whether to attack or to defend. Not a lot can be achieved by defending. They also can't allow the run rate to run away. So they're hoping that maybe something will come off the track, that one slip will come into play for Vas, or maybe an LBW or a bold. The batsman may make a mistake. They're hoping that they don't concede too many runs, give the batsman time enough to make the mistake.
Absolutely, I think the Sri Lankans really need to have people in the catching areas and just bowl a line, forcing the batsman to sort of make the play rather than get drawn into it rather themselves.
Exactly, I think they should, they should really do what they did to Irfan Pathan. Bowl to one side of the wicket and see whether he comes after you rather than going at him. They thought him out. It's 224 for 5. So the light is fading. It's about this time, well, it's another 20 minutes when play was called off on day 1.
So I would reckon around that India, say as long as it's not unplayable and it's very dark, they probably would be inclined to bat on, as they've got two batsmen in there who are batting reasonably well, and they don't seem to be in any trouble whatsoever, and the conditions are not going to get any better in terms of the pitch or anything else tomorrow, so it would be useful for them to go on maintaining this rhythm rather than have to start all over again tomorrow.
I'm not so sure, Ranjit. I'm not disagreeing with that view, but knowing the Indians, they may not want to lose another wicket. You know, once it comes into your mind that the light is fading, it could start playing on your mind. Especially Ganguly is also playing a crucial innings for himself and his team. But you're right, as far as the Indians are concerned, it would be to their benefit if they get, you know, another 30 odd runs today.
Yes, and also on the other hand, I think they realize that the Sri Lankans are going through the motions merely to try and finish off the day. It would seem from the body language, the fields they've set, and they really should be looking to take advantage of that.
Absolutely. They look a tired lot. In fact, they'll probably be appealing for light. It's a calm Indian balcony. He's still a bit agitated, as he should be, because of that run out of his. He's playing a magnificent innings, Rahul Dravid. Just the one. But really, it seems that the Indians are absolutely on top. It's a tired Sri Lankan attack. Physically and mentally, it's taken its toll. Psychologically, they feel that they're being pushed back in this test match. They could take a break.
Yes, I think they would like to get back in and think about the tomorrow rather than just go through the motions here and just give those runs away, which would add on to the Indian tally and make the lead more and more.
Difficult unless you've bowled the googly from that angle. You're coming round the wicket. You've got to get the angle to straighten. You're bowling into it. It was the googly. But there's a bit of willow on it as well, Ranjit.
Yes, I think the Sri Lankans more hoping that they would get the decision. End of the over, 226 for 5.
.226 for 5. Lead now 286. 26 boundaries, 2 sixes. Those are the one hit by Irfan Pathan. Played a terrific innings of 93. Came in to open the innings, and the Indians have him to thank for this position that they are in. Played a wonderful innings, very authentic, very aggressive.
It's been an absorbing day of cricket, and I'm sure the Indian crowds who have come in their numbers would have got a good day's cricket. What again has been significant is, Arun, there's been a lot of girls watching cricket. Has it anything to do with India's good performances in women's cricket against England? They gave them a drubbing, didn't they?
There she is again. We're going to look for her everywhere, all these 5 days. Just keep smiling. I think it's probably got more to do with the men's cricket doing well, Ranjit. But seriously, there is a lot of interest in this sport, and now it's just all pervasive in society, amongst both sexes and all over the country. In the hinterland as well, you could have fan following for Tendulkar in the villages as well, because television has reached almost everywhere.
It's been a bit of a stoppage here. There you are, even from the foreign lands. The ball's got a bit of a peppering, as you would see. It was quite a bit of force on it.
I just took a look at the ball. It was rather wet. That's the one side that they drench with spit and sweat. I'd be hesitant to handle it. That is close, and he's got an inside edge on it. The umpire has seen it.
Yes, there were two noises. They got an inside edge on it, and otherwise it was going straight through. The Sri Lankans thought they had Yuvraj. It's not to be.
And that's the conventional swing. Now I can't quite understand it. Why would you want to change this ball when you're getting so much movement from it? Is it just luck that you're looking for? That would have been very, very close if it hadn't got the inside edge. So it's not only reverse swing, it's conventional swing now. Really can't follow that as a batsman. But Vas is getting the ball to swing. Why on earth would you want to change it?
One must give Chaminda Vas plenty of credit. He's had a long spell, but despite that has been working on the ball, looking for that swing, both reverse and conventional. But this man really never stops. Into his 17th over, picked up 2 wickets. He's been probing all the while, never really let the batsman rest.
I can't quite fathom this out. The same ball can reverse and swing conventionally. I think we'll have to put this question to Srinath.
Absolutely, I think the contemporary bowlers really have worked out this skill of reverse swing to nicety, and now even confusing it further by doing the conventional swing and the reverse swing with the same ball.
The outside edge, just the fingertip to it. Now the ball had really taken off. It's gone for 4, nothing going right for Chaminda Vas and Sri Lanka at the moment. That ball really took off. That's the end of the over as well, 230 for 5. Couple of substantial scores, Pathan 93, Dravid 53, but the contributions from everybody. Everybody's getting a look in contrast to first innings when there were just 2 or 3 batsmen who contributed. Last ball, last over.
Yes, again the uneven bounce, which really has been a problem. Just look at this, that's flying off the shoulder of the bat. The outstretched hands of Slips, and he gets away with it. But again, Chaminda Vas, even at the tail end of this innings, is really getting deliveries to rear up. Look of despair, as you would see. He's worked very hard.
What a terrific delivery that was. Still getting the ball to talk, Chaminda Vas. That is very deliberately done. Played very late with the turn. No slip in position.
It would seem that Ganguly quite content, just pushing the singles around, deliberately turning the face and pushing it into the third man region. Just looking to stay away from the strike.
He's really having a go at Mubarak. This was Yuvraj this time. So he's taken 2 blows in this over already.
Usually does happen. The new man, Mubarak, he's given the tough place.
Didn't quite carry.
Never easy. He's taken a peppering as soon as the batsman lifts it back, the high bat lift. You really cannot stay still. That's a tough thing, particularly after you've been hit earlier.
That's never easy in that position. You're absolutely right about the backlift. The moment the backlift goes up, you're always trying to take evasive action. Yuvraj ordinarily has a high backlift, so that works in his favor, at least as far as the city mid-off fielder is concerned. No shot offered. It's the end of the over. 2:31 for 5. It's 2:31 for 5. The umpires were conferring during the change in overs. They were looking at the light, the option. The bowling change now. Chaminda Vas is being replaced. He's probably had a long spell there. And Muralidharan is being brought back.
This really is going to be Sri Lanka's last throw of the dice this evening. If they need a wicket, it certainly might have to come through Muralidharan or Chaminda Vas. So it's Muralidharan again. He's wicketlessiest in this innings. So Sri Lankans having 3 men round the bat: the slip, the forward short leg and the silly point. So it's important from India's point of view and Ganguly's point of view that he stays positive as closing things up, getting into a defensive mould can prove to be fatal.
Well, Adapadu lost his wicket at the fag end of yesterday. Ganguly is appealing for light. He's saying he can't see the seam. It's important to be able to look at the seam, especially when Murli is bowling, to judge his dusra, which way the seam is going, whether it's coming in or out. Many batsmen, you'll be surprised to know, actually can see the seam and judge which way the ball will turn after seeing the ball turning in the air.
Ganguly needs to maintain his focus. It's so important at this time, particularly when you've got at the back of your mind that the light isn't good, and you sort of force yourself into a defensive situation. So Muralidharan just asking him to come up to drive, just giving the ball air. You could see he's slowing things down a little bit now. But we really haven't seen his dusra work.
the covers for another single. Ganguly not happy at all. He's continuing to implore the umpires. 2 balls to go. Also, that's 2, means that's between leg and middle. The guard. He's played fine for another couple. Murli just not finding the length at all.
It would seem that the Indians are not looking for any big shots. They're quite happy just picking up the singles or the twos, working the ball into areas without fielders.
End of the over, 2:34 for 5. Ready to take position. The umpires conferred again and decided that they'll let the game proceed. 8 overs to go. Saurav Ganguly is looking in complete control despite the fact that he's not happy about the light.
It's interesting, Arun. I think the Sri Lankans would, from their general attitude, would imply that they want to continue, because otherwise they could really probably bring a quicker ball and force the umpires into getting the light appeal.
Content with one. There's no need to rush things, taking risks. But you're absolutely right. You know, I think they probably feel that it's playing on the batsman's mind. Ganguly is not happy. Maybe he loses focus, maybe loses concentration in the process. They're very willing to carry on with it.
Yes, they're all quite prepared to play all the psychological games at this stage, because a wicket is all what they need. It's a flight to deliver again. You could see Malinga too now slowing things down. He's throwing it up, telling the batsman, come after me.
Come on, Banda!
But all the while the singles keep on coming, and that's adding on to India's tally.
That's the partnership that really put India in the driver's seat. 92 runs they put on together. 53 for Dravid run out and 93 for Pathan.
Bowling.
.237 for 5, 7 to go.
अगर विश्वास है तो रिश्ते हैं, अगर रिश्ते हैं तो परिवार है, अगर परिवार है तो घर है, तो फिर घर ही क्यों? सपना ना वावेतर सिर्फ सोनी एंटरटेनमेंट टेलीविजन एशिया पर।
Well, so that's it for day 3. India 237 for 5, 7 overs short bowled. The umpires finally offering light and the batsman accepting it. So India 297 ahead and would feel very, very content with the day's proceedings.
Yes, both these players have come together at a time when they needed to put up a reasonable partnership and have stayed till the end. And both would be satisfied with the contribution they've made to the side and also in their own interests.
That's the match summary so far. India 290 in reply. Sri Lanka bowled out for 230 today, and India are cementing their position. 237 for 5 at the end of day 3. 93 for Pathan. That was the surprise package he opened. Dravid 53 and Vas getting 2 wickets and 1 for Bandara. India lead by 297 runs, and it is a little desperate situation for Sri Lanka. So that's the story of today. India sitting pretty, 297 ahead. We hope you will join us tomorrow for some more very, very interesting and hard-fought cricket.